Hey everybody, Aaron Noonan, the V8 Sleuth here with you as we get set for another weekend of the Repco Supercars Championship. This weekend, coming to you from Pukekohe Park Raceway in New Zealand. It's sort of good news. We're back to New Zealand for the first time in 3 years, but it's bad news in that it's the final time that Pukekohe will host a round of the Supercars. So it is set to go out with a bang this weekend. Super Sprint weekend, one race Saturday. Two races coming up on Sunday as well. It's set to be a big one. And while the championship fight is really Shane van Gisbergen's, his margin's 500 points, there's other stuff on the line of importance. And at Pukekohe, it's the Jason Richards Memorial Trophy, named in honour of the late Kiwi racer who's in the Hall of Fame, who passed away from cancer in late 2011. The driver who scores the most points across the three races for the weekend will win that very prestigious Memorial Trophy. Now, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in the Supercars Championship about next year, who's going where, but right now it's all about the racing and the road to the Repco Bathurst 1000, because Pukekohe is the last round before the mountain, and it's the first time we've been there since 2019, so there's a bunch of drivers who've never competed in Supercars at this track, and some of them who've never competed there in any form of race car, so it's going to be a bit of a baptism of fire coming into this weekend. Now, let's have a look at the way the championship sits. It is a bit of a margin, 500, it's a fair way, 300 points on the line this weekend. Cam Waters sits second for Tickford Racing, and then it's tight, 19 points between Cam and Will Davison, another 3 back to Will's teammate Anton De Pasquale, Chaz Mostert 5th, Brock Feeney 6th from Dave Reynolds, then Brody Kostecki, James Courtney and Kiwi Andre Heimgartner rounds out the top 10 as it sits coming into this weekend, and there's a whole pile of interesting numbers and facts and stats to run through for you ahead of this weekend. Chaz Mostert, 5 times on the podium at this circuit, but he's never had a win at Pukekohe. This is his last chance to get that done for Walkinshaw Andretti United. Shane van Gisbergen, he's won 7 of the last 8 races in the 2022 Championship. And there's some milestones this weekend too. Jack Smith from Brad Jones Racing brings up his 100th championship race. That'll come in the final race on Sunday. Matt Stone Racing will start its 150th race. That is the Saturday race coming up this weekend. And Brad Jones Racing, that race will also be its 700th Supercars Championship race. BJR's been around for a long time, and they've got a very special history because, of course, Jason Richards drove for that team, and they won the first Jason Richards trophy with Jason Bright back in 2013. Now let's have a look at Pukekohe. Some amazing history there over the years. The championship first went there in 2001. It was the first ever round outside Australia. That track hosted the Kiwi round right through the end of 2007. Then we went to the streets of Hamilton before we went back to Pukekohe in 2013. Now, it's pretty hard to go past Greg Murphy. He is the king of Pukekohe if we have a look at the race wins. 9 race wins in the championship there across the journey for Murph. He was the dominant man in the early years of the championship racing at that circuit. So this is the last chance to add yourself to that winners list at Pukekohe this weekend. Of course, you can keep up to speed with all the action from Pukekohe on the garage, on Repco's Garage, and on their socials as well. Enjoy the weekend if you're trackside, if you're watching, if you're keeping in touch with it from afar. It is set to be a big weekend, an historic weekend, the last time at Pukekohe. It's going to be a big one.